Alrighty, just wanted to do a little update on some of these American Flyer switches again. I've replaced the one that was here with this one and that one. Now these are older, I guess, than these blue ones over here. And what I did when I got them, they were very rusty. So I let them soak in vinegar for like 3-4 days. And come in here and clean them up. And the only thing about them, like I said, they're very old, and so some of the rails are just they kind of dip here and there, and there really is not much of a way to really straighten that out. Some are worse than others, but this one's not too bad. I mean, you get a little bit of a jolt through there, but it's not too bad. I mean, they're pretty smooth. The cars go through there like glass. Of course, cars would go through just about any switch okay. Now this one is one of the worst ones I got. Even though it's soaked in vinegar, it's still got some surface rust, and the vinegar kind of took the paint off. This is an electric one, and it's a little bit different design. That frog is one solid piece, whereas these are two separate rails. So I've got some of these coming that are newer in better shape. I was trying to salvage this one, but I think it's just a little too gone because that rail there is pretty rotten through. It had a whole lot of surface rust on it. It's just a shame somebody let go like that, because it's kind of cool. But what I may do is experiment and cut this right through here off and try to see how it would be to mount it, without this big machine, and cut this metal. And don't look like it'd be too difficult. Like I said, this one is in really bad shape, but I bought like 6 of them for, I don't know, $10 or $12. And this one's the only one I really couldn't save out of all the ones that I got. But trains go through there pretty smooth. I mean, much smoother than the fast track I had. And the raw switches, some of the things would go through there smooth and some wouldn't. Of course, the cars would. But again, it's always about the locomotive. And that Lionel right there, it doesn't matter what kind of switches I have. I don't know, those front trucks, they tend to rub on the front of the drivers, and I don't know how to remedy that. Maybe somebody out there has done that before, but that's a Lionel Line Chief Plus. It's a Bluetooth version. You can't control it with a phone, but it's one of the earlier ones before they came out with it on the phone. But it runs great. But them damn trucks on the front, and I know these are tighter curves, but it's supposed to go around 031 or 027 without a problem. But those front lead trucks rub those drivers sometimes, and sometimes they get caught on an S-turn. And I don't know if anybody else has experimented that, but I have. Anyway, I got a couple of those like other switches coming. I'm probably going to be done with it. And I've recently located a place in Czechoslovakia called Merkur. Some of you guys in the O-Gauge forums have probably already heard about them, but they make tubular track, and it's what they call the swing nose or flying something, whatever this design is called is what they've got, but they've got them in a lot gentler curves. And I'm in the process of trying to find out what it would cost to ship some here from the Netherlands. Is a place that they don't ship from Czechoslovakia to the US, which I thought was strange, but they do ship to the Netherlands, and that guy from the Netherlands, he'll ship to the US. So anyway, haven't done much of anything else. Been experimenting around with these switches. This one was on the layout, but I kept having problems because what it is this part right here And because this metal will bend, and if you don't get it bent just straight, just right, the wheels will hit. Like this is setting up a little high, so you have to take and like put a screw in here to pull this down, to level this out, and or one side will, like right now, this one, if it was pulled down right here, it would match these two tracks, these two rails pretty evenly, but there's a bump right there. That's the only real problem I found with them. I mean, electrically and everything, they work great. I mean, this one's in, you know, physically is in really good shape. And this design is just foolproof. Once you get this section of it fixed, and, you know, they work great. So anyway, that's a 666 Marks. It runs there pretty good. No problems. And my 1666 up there, it runs through them without a problem. So anyway, I guess that's about all I got to say about all that. If anybody's got any input on all that stuff, it'd be great. But the otherwise, the Menards track holding up well. Haven't seen any signs of any kind of surface rust or anything. Because it's pretty, I'm in Texas and it's pretty humid here. That was my only concern about some of these metals out here in this shed. Even though I've got an air conditioner and a heater, but you know, and that's why I like O-scale, because it's a little more rugged and ain't so dainty, you know. Anyhow, I guess that's all for now. I just want to give a little update on it and let the MTH run through there. So I guess that's all for now.